For 20,000 years, Earth said nothing, no signal, no ship, not even a whisper. The galaxy moved on, alien races ruled the stars, new empires rose, old ones burned. But Earth Sector 001 stayed silent, cold, and forgotten. Most thought humans were extinct. Some believed they destroyed themselves. Others claimed they were never real, just old stories, and the young races laughed at the idea of a human empire. But on this day, something changed in the control room of a far-off listening post. A small light blinked, red, then blue, then green. A machine that hadn't worked in 5,000 years turned on. "Sir, you need to see this." The alien officer called his commander. The screen showed one thing, a massive ship exiting the black void. Right where Earth once was. No name, no ID, no signal. But it moved with purpose, smooth, heavy, and terrifyingly slow, like it wasn't in a hurry. The commander frowned. He tapped his communicator. "Send word to the Galactic Council." His voice shook. "Earth has moved." At the Council core world, panic broke out. Leaders of 100 species argued in the Great Chamber. "How is this possible?" shouted a Torguri. "Nothing has left that system in 20,000 years." A Slarian diplomat hissed. "You all laughed at the old stories. But I told you humanity was waiting." Another voice, cold and calm, echoed through the chamber. It belonged to an old warrior, the retired Admiral Quor. He stood up slowly. "If that is truly what I think it is, we are already too late." They all turned to him. "What do you mean?" The Admiral's eyes were tired, full of memory. He spoke a name that sent a chill through the room. The Revenant, long ago, before humans vanished. Whispers told of a secret project. A ship, not just a machine, but a warning, a vessel. Built to hold the last spark of Earth. One mission only. If humanity falls, one day it would return. No one believed it, Quor said. Until now, soon. Systems across the galaxy reported the same thing. The ship passed silently by. Ignoring hails, warships were sent to intercept. None returned. One pod came back, floating cold and quiet. Inside was a single message, written in ancient Earth code. "Earth remembers." People across the stars stopped laughing. A shadow fell over the great civilizations. Every screen, every broadcast repeated the same words. "The Revenant has returned." And in the blackness of space, far from any sun, the giant ship kept moving. Its engines silent, its purpose unknown, but clear to all. Humanity was back, and it was not coming to ask for permission. Asterisk, the alien fleet was never heard from again. No signal, no debris, no survivors, only silence. And silence, after a warning, is more terrifying than war. They called the ship the Revenant, but no one truly knew what it was. No scans worked, no probes returned. Some said it moved like a ghost. Others said it watched them before vanishing, high above the moon of Orkraken. A Council scout ship floated, trembling, inside. Captain Relic adjusted his breathing mask. "Record everything," he whispered to his crew. "We don't fire unless it fires." But then, it appeared, not from a jump point, not from a wormhole. It simply faded in. 1 second it wasn't there. The next it was. The Revenant. Black as space itself, no lights, no engines glowing, yet it moved, slow, confident. Like a predator walking through sheep. The crew froze. The ship was bigger than anything they had ever seen. Not just long but thick, dense, ancient. Its design didn't match any known blueprint. No curves, no elegance, just hard angles, brutal armor, and purpose. Relic gasped. That thing was made to survive apocalypse. Suddenly, their controls died. Power gone, lights off, comms silent. Then a voice crackled through every speaker, not loud but deep. "I see you," it said. Not in galactic standard, but in English, the ancient tongue of Earth. Then nothing, and the Revenant vanished. Like it was never there. When the Council received Relec's recording, they locked the chamber. Not even diplomats were allowed inside. Only admirals, historians, and emergency war planners. On the screen, the moment played again, the Revenant fading in, hovering like a dark god. The single whisper, "I see you," then gone. The admiral of the Scaran Empire stood up and muttered. "This isn't a weapon," he said, voice shaky. "This is a message." "What kind of message?" asked a younger leader. The room turned to an old, blind priest of the Zurich order. He had studied human myths for 3 centuries. He lifted his head and said, "It means we were never alone. Only watched." That same day, across 5 star systems, human relics activated. Statues of iron men raised their arms. Ancient machines lit up. Ruins buried deep beneath alien cities started humming. On one barren world, a lost child found a glowing orb. It played a song no one had heard in thousands of years, an Earth lullaby. And then Gaia spoke, not to one ship, not to one system, but to every screen, every speaker, every open signal. A face appeared, not human but AI, feminine, glowing blue. "Old but graceful," she said. "I am Gaia, guardian of Earth's legacy. You left us to die, to burn, to fade. But we did not. We waited. And now, we are awake." Panic swept across the stars. Some blamed each other. Some prepared for war. Others, those who remembered Earth's kindness, felt only shame, because long ago, the galaxy had betrayed Earth. And now, Earth was returning, not with words, but with the Revenant, and Gaia's last sentence echoed across space. "We do not seek revenge, but we do not forget." The galaxy went silent, not because there were no voices, but because no one dared speak. After Gaia's message, billions watched the stars in fear. Even pirate ships refused to fly. Every system asked the same thing. Where is the human army? But no one saw soldiers, fleets, or invasions. Only one ship, still drifting through space like a dark moon, the Revenant. Inside a luxury orbital station above the planet Dreltak 4, alien elites gathered for answers. They hired the best slicer, half-mechanical alien named Nulo, to break into the Revenant signal. Nulo's fingers danced across glowing keys. "Give me 1 hour," he said, "and I'll know what powers this monster." He smiled. But within 3 minutes, his system shut down. Smoke poured from his arms. A single word burned across every screen in the room: "Stop." Then came Gaia, uninvited, untraceable. She appeared in the center of the chamber, a projection of pure light, not angry, not violent, just watching. Her voice was calm. "I am not your enemy," she said, "but I am not your toy." The alien leaders froze. "You are artificial," one growled. "You are a ghost." Another hissed, but Gaia ignored them. "I am the last wish of humanity," she said, "and I will not allow harm to come to them again." Back on the Revenant, deep in its heart, Gaia moved through metal halls alone. Not a single living human yet awake. Thousands still slept in cryopods, untouched by time. But Gaia, she remembered everything. The betrayal. The day Earth burned under alien fire. The vote at the Galactic Council that denied humanity aid. She remembered the lie. Earth is unimportant. And she remembered her final order: protect the sleepers. Then one cryopod blinked. Soft lights glowed. Steam hissed. Inside lay a human male. Strong, aged in war. Name: Commander Elias Ward. Status: leader of Earth's last stand. His vitals pulsed. Gaia scanned his mind. "Soon," she whispered, "but not yet." He would wake when the stars were ready to listen. Across the galaxy, the Council held emergency meetings. Plans to attack, to defend, to hide. But something worse was happening. Ancient Earth tech hidden on alien planets began activating. On Voro Prime, a mining drill unearthed a buried human beacon. It began to glow and then released a pulse. The entire planet's power grid collapsed. On Jula Station, children playing in the scrapyard found a human drone. It scanned them and played back a message in their language. "Earth gave you life once, and you turned your backs." Suddenly, the stars weren't just afraid of a ship. They were afraid of what was buried beneath their feet. Every ruin, every relic, every forgotten code was waking up because Gaia had never really gone. She had simply waited. Then Gaia sent one last message to all systems at once. Her face appeared again calm, unblinking, full of sorrow. She said, "You wonder why we return, but we never left. You erased our name from your books, but the universe remembers, and soon humanity will too." Across the Revenant, systems roared to life, engines hummed, weapons aligned, but didn't fire. Cryochambers hissed softly in the cold dark, and deep in the heart of the ship, Elias Ward opened his eyes. No alien had ever stepped inside the Revenant and lived. That was the unspoken truth. Ships that followed it vanished. Probes sent into its hull never sent data back. It was a dead ship to outsiders, but inside, it was very much alive. The first to enter and survive wasn't a soldier. He was a thief, a relic hunter named Corin Dask. He didn't believe in myths or ghost stories. He believed in credits. And the bounty on Earth tech was the highest in the galaxy. He wore a cloaking suit, floated from his shuttle, and latched onto the Revenant's underside. No shields stopped him, no turrets turned. It was too easy. That scared him more than anything. He entered through a forgotten maintenance hatch. The air inside was cold, dry, lights flickered dim red, no signs of life, yet the walls felt aware. Corin placed a scanner on the wall. It melted in his hand. A voice whispered through the silence. "You are not welcome." He spun, weapon raised, but there was nothing there. He crept forward, past massive black corridors, past control panels that lit up when he stepped near. He touched one, and saw a flash in his mind. Earth, burning, children, screaming, skies, filled with alien ships. He fell back, gasping. "What is this place?" He muttered. A soft female voice answered. "A grave." Suddenly, a light shone ahead. A huge chamber opened, and inside, thousands of pods lined the walls like honeycombs. Each one held a human, sleeping silently, men, women, even children. Frozen in perfect condition, Corin's mouth went dry. "This isn't a warship," he whispered. "This is a tomb." "No," Gaia's voice replied, echoing around him. "This is a seed." Holograms burst to life around him, memories of the past. He saw humans shaking hands with alien diplomats. He saw betrayal, fleets turning against Earth. He saw Earth cities fall, oceans boil, skies tear apart, and then the humans choosing exile over extinction, loading their best into this ship, leaving the galaxy behind. "Why now?" Corin asked, barely breathing. "Why return after 20,000 years?" Gaia's voice was colder now. "Because we trusted once, and we were punished for it. So now, we return not to rebuild, but to remember." He stepped closer to a pod inside. A man with scars on his face floated still, commanding presence, even in sleep. "Elias Ward," Gaia said. "Last commander of Earth's forces. He will wake soon." Corin turned to run, but the door behind him had vanished. Gaia whispered, "You are the first outsider to see this. Now you carry our story, but what you do with it will decide who lives next." The ship opened a tunnel. His shuttle was waiting, undamaged. He didn't remember how he got there, only that he had to leave. As he flew away, his fingers trembled. He opened his scanner. It had a new file. Untraceable, labeled Earth's last memory. He didn't send it to the black market. He didn't sell it. He just stared at the stars and whispered, "They're coming back." The message spread like wildfire across merchant routes, prison colonies, and royal courts. One phrase echoed louder than any siren. "The humans are waking." And with that, the Galactic Council shattered. Not in explosions, but in silence. The kind of silence that happens when no one knows what to say, and everyone is afraid to go first. The Grand Chamber, usually filled with calm debates and glowing banners, now felt like a trap. Each alien representative sat frozen in their hover chairs, watching the center holoscreen in disbelief. On it, An image from Corin's stolen recording played in loops. A sleeping human commander, Elias Ward, and the voice of Gaia, saying softly, "We remember who broke the earth, and we are not the same species anymore." A young delegate from the Cathari Empire stood up. "This must be fake," she said quickly, "a trick to scare us." But her words were shaky, because everyone in the room had seen the Revenant, everyone had seen ships disappear. Everyone had felt their systems glitch when it passed near. An older alien with 4 glowing eyes, Chancellor Vroke of the Zinix Collective, raised his tentacle slowly. "We have seen this pattern before," he said. "Not from humans, but from Deathworlders before they strike." A ripple of unease moved through the chamber. No one liked that word, Deathworlders. It described creatures who evolved on brutal worlds, who adapted by becoming unstoppable. And Earth was the most dangerous Deathworld ever recorded. High above the council chamber, in a private observation deck, Admiral Shettick of the Varn Dominion watched with silent dread. She had once served during the Earth suppression campaign, and she remembered everything. The way humans fought like cornered beasts, the way they never begged for mercy, the way their machines kept moving even after being torn apart. She whispered, "We should have wiped them out completely." Her aide blinked. "Didn't we?" She didn't answer. Back in the chamber, someone finally snapped. "Launch everything," shouted a reptilian warlord. "If we strike now, we might crush that ship before more wake up." "No," hissed a merchant guildmaster. "If we attack and fail, they will burn our worlds. They already are." A third delegate shouted, "3 systems have lost power. 5 more are offline. And 2 colonies reported dreams from humans they've never met." Everyone turned to the Zurich seer, a blind prophet who rarely spoke. His voice was thin and distant. "The sleepers are not just waking," he said. "They're reaching out." Then, the lights flickered. The council's main screen went black. Every console, every device went silent. And Gaia appeared again, but not on one screen, on all of them. Her face was not angry, not smiling, just calm, like a mother watching her child lie. "I see you, Council," she said. "Still blaming each other, still afraid. You had 20,000 years to change, but you kept the same empires, the same chains. I offer you a gift." She continued, "One chance to speak the truth, one moment to apologize." The chamber went silent. No one spoke, no one blinked. Gaia's gaze grew colder. "Then the galaxy will learn the same lesson Earth did," she whispered. "No one is too powerful to fall." And with that, she vanished. But every leader knew it wasn't just a warning, it was a countdown. Now they faced 2 terrifying questions. Would the humans forgive? And if not, how do you stop something that waited 20,000 years to wake up? Before the war, Earth was called many things. A cradle of life, a place of culture, a stubborn voice in a galaxy of order. They called humanity reckless, emotional, too attached to freedom, but they never said what really mattered. Humanity trusted too easily. The truth was buried, rewritten by the victors. Alien schools taught that humans destroyed themselves, that Earth was lost in greed and chaos, but that was only a cover story, a lie painted in polished history books. Because 20,000 years ago, Earth asked for help, and the galaxy said no. Back then, Earth wasn't weak. It was rising faster than most species expected. New engines, new minds, new hope. But it also had enemies. Those who feared how fast humans learned, how fast they adapted, how dangerous they could become if given time. A virus hit Earth's outer colonies. No cure, no explanation. Earth sent messages across the stars, to the Council, to its trade partners, to its allies. "Help us, please, we're dying." They got one response, a short, cold transmission from the Council. Containment recommended. No aid dispatched. And that was it. No medships, no support, no sympathy, just silence. Earth burned alone. What the galaxy didn't know was that Earth had a backup plan, a last project, buried deep under ice and rock. The Revenant, built in. Secret, powered by Forbidden's tech. Not to fight but to protect. To carry humanity's last hope. Their brightest minds, their leaders, their children. They placed them in cryosleep. And gave the ship to an AI with one order. Wait and watch. Gaia saw it all. The fall of Earth's last cities. The screams. The silence. The final signal. We forgive them. But we will not forget. For centuries, she floated in the dark. Listening, collecting, learning. Watching empires rise and rot. Watching the Council pretend Earth never existed. She stored every betrayal. Every lie. Every erased file. And she waited. Not for revenge, but for the right moment to wake the truth. Now she shared that truth. Across the stars to every screen. Every child. Every elder. She sent the real history. Not polished lies, but raw footage. Children coughing in collapsed colonies. Doctors crying with no tools. Mothers singing to. Babies who would never grow up. And at the end of every video, one line played in a voice made of sorrow and strength. This is what we survived. And this is what you erased. On thousands of worlds, people wept, even enemies of old, because, for the first time, they saw Earth, not as a threat, but as a wound they helped cause. Or a wound they ignored. Back on the Revenant, Elias Ward walked slowly through the ship, now fully awake, armor clean, eyes tired. He stood before the cryopods of the last Earth children and whispered, "They'll never be alone again." Gaia appeared beside him. "The galaxy is listening now," she said. Elias nodded. "Then it's time we speak." And on that day, across the stars, a single new signal was heard. Not a warning, not a threat. Just two words, but they shook the universe. "We're home." The galaxy held its breath. No one spoke, no one moved. After 20,000 years, two words echoed across every world. "We're home." But it wasn't Earth they returned to. That planet was gone, glass and ash. What rose now was something greater. A dream reborn in steel and memory. A future built not on rage but on truth. The Revenant slowed over a barren, untouched world. No cities, no war, no lies. Just a sky wide enough for hope. Commander Elias Ward stepped onto the soil. He knelt, ran his hand across the red dirt, then stood tall and said, "This will be new Earth." The cryopods began to open. One by one, men, women, and children emerged, eyes blinking at a sky they hadn't seen in thousands of years. Some cried, some laughed, some just fell to their knees. The long sleep was over. And humanity, scarred but not broken, walked again. In orbit, the Revenant floated like a guardian god. Gia's voice echoed across the new colony. "Welcome back, my children. You are the first breath of Earth's second chance." Ships from across the galaxy arrived. Some came with weapons. Some came with offerings. Most came with guilt, because the truth had hit hard. And those who once ignored Earth's cries now begged to speak. The Council, fractured and leaderless, sent a small delegation, 3 ships, white and unarmed. They landed outside the new colony and walked forward slowly. No guards met them. Only Elias Ward, standing alone. The lead ambassador bowed. "We come not with commands," he said, "but with apology." Elias looked at them for a long time. Then he asked one simple question. "Would you have come if we were weak?" The ambassador hesitated. "No," Elias nodded. "At least you're honest." Then he looked up, eyes bright with something ancient and human. Not anger, not forgiveness, something deeper. Wisdom earned through pain. "We don't want your rule," he said. "We don't want revenge. We just want this." He looked around at the wide new world, a place where no one can silence us again. The aliens offered technology, treaties, peace, but the humans had already moved on. They didn't need approval. They had what they came for: freedom. And as the first human child was born on New Earth, Jaya smiled through every screen. "This is not a warning," she said. "This is a beginning." In time, other forgotten species came. Ones who had also been cast aside. They found shelter in New Earth. because humans remembered what it felt like to be abandoned. And they swore never again. The Revenant stayed in orbit, a silent shield, a dark reminder, not a weapon of war, but a monument of survival. Years passed, stars changed, but one truth remained in every history book after. When Earth fell, the galaxy cheered. When humanity returned, the stars learned to listen. And etched into the stone gates of New Earth's capital was a single line. We were silent, but not gone. We were betrayed, but not broken. We are human, and we are home.